I am playing Midas theme force today, his butcher block, all the way up to tier 4. And I have advanced move on my razor bores for each unit of bone grinders I have with this theme force. So I'm going to advance move the little bores because they're the most expendable. Unlimited bone grinders is pretty nice. These guys are great snipers. By themselves, they get to magic ability 9. And with a curse from Midas, they can get to effectively magic ability 11. I'm going to run up my slaughterhousers on the flanks. I don't want to focus fire or group up too much with him because I know there's lots of lightning, so I'm just going to come at him at all angles. Also, I'm kind of just avoiding the rough terrain because there's no Pathfinder in this list besides my Roadhogs. We are playing the fire support objective. I took the stockpile. It's going to allow some of my pigs to stand up after they make a tough, because it grants everything within 4 inches to just stand up automatically. He took the armory. So he's probably going to put those little Cygnar and light artillery right up on the hill and just shoot me. It's going to be a problem. I'm going to want my little bone grinders to try to snipe him out if I can, or this Roadhog. I'm not too concerned about the beast dying. That's one thing I do love about the Midas theme force, is you almost always want to lead with your war beast and let them die, because the feat will bring back all your war beasts. And the bone tokens are also clutch. When a living warbeast dies in his command range, Midas gets a bone token that he can convert into fury. So he's going to have turns where he can battle lust multiple units and still have transfers, or he can hex blast something and then calamity it, or vice versa. Probably vice versa. Calamity then hex blast. And that pile of rubble in the middle we chose as an obstacle, so I'm going to put Midas behind that for most of the game just so he can't be targeted from range attacks. Prevent line of sight is what we decided that obstacle was going to be. It's going to be my little bunker, Fort Midas. I love the bone swarms with the theme force. These guys start the game with 3 corpse tokens, which takes them from a 13-15 to a 13-18. Takes them from POW 12 to POW 15. They also cause terror. They're huge. People laugh at bone swarms. I think they're pretty great. They just got to get there. So my opponent is taking Cygnar with Captain Jeremiah Kraye. In his battle group, he has a defender and a Stormclad. He has a hunter on his right flank, but that's going to be jack-marshalled by the Arcane Tempest Gunmage unit attachment. His objective was the armory, so you can see he just positioned his 2 little light artillery piece, those Stormsmith Storm Towers, right there for an extra D6 of damage. I'm actually pretty concerned about them, mostly because of the lightning arcs. They get D3 lightning arcs, so they're going to be attritioning like mad on my little unit of slaughterhousers down there. I don't mind if they blow away my war beasts, because I'll just bring them back, but if I'm losing all of my units, the bad attrition just gets much worse. I'm not too worried about his little unit of sword knights. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill them. I just don't think they're going to be able to do much to me. He's got them on his left flank, so they're pretty far away from the bulk of my army, and I'm just going to try to tie him up with my slaughterhousers. With the Journeyman's Arcane Shield and with defensive line, I don't have a chance in hell on killing those guys, so I'm just going to try to tie him up and ignore him. His Arcane Tempest Gun Mage Pistoliers on his right side are going to be much more of a problem. With their range, they're going to be shooting me off the table, and they can hit most things. The Rangers are also going to be really annoying. As if he needed help hitting my models, the Rangers can mark the target if they get within 5 inches of something. And it's just more guns I don't want to see. Like, their guns are POW 11, so they can shoot off any of my units and even deal a great deal of damage to my razor bores. Like there, he just shot one off. Pew pew. His Warjack, the Defender, I'm shocked at how much range that thing has. I didn't realize how far it could shoot, so that one's also going to be another issue. Like, realistically, the fact that he's playing Kraye doesn't matter to me. He could be playing anybody in Cygnar, and it wouldn't matter. His army by itself is well positioned to just blow me off the table. I don't know what Kraye is really bringing that I'm too worried about. So it's mostly his army that I'm concerned about. The fact that Kraye's on a larger base than most of his units is actually helpful for me, because like I said earlier, I don't think I can out-attrition him, so I'm going to either pray that I can get a scenario win, or pray that I can get an assassination if he exposes Jeremiah Kraye. My opponent's killing my razor bores because they're there. I don't think he is worried too much about target prioritization at this point. It's just shoot whatever he can see. And he knows that if he doesn't kill the razor bores, they're just gonna run right into his face, so it's probably smart on his end to kill the razor bores. I'm certainly not sad. I'd rather have a turn where Midas can just unload with a boosted Calamity and a boosted Hex Blast and still have a transfer left over, rather than have some razor bores that do nothing. And I can bring them back if I need to. One of the neat things about the feat is that it's not just offensive. Like, if I'm really in a pinch, I could always just feat and create my own little rock wall, except it's going to be a razor bore wall, and just completely block line of sight for Midas with some dead razor bores. So that's one aspect of the feat that my opponents never see happen. I don't normally like to use it that way, but if it needs to, I can. The one benefit of playing against the Cygnar and Gunline is scenario does become a lot more lively. He doesn't really run too many things turn one. He just moves up the board and shoots. Gives me a much better chance at going for that scenario. However, that little water puddle there, I don't know if I can get Midas to my own flag. He doesn't have Pathfinder. Alright, Pig's turn 2. Reaving in my Fury. I was a little hot last turn, so I'm rolling a Frenzy check on my Bone Swarm. Thankfully they have a threshold of 9, so he passed. During my control phase, I'm going to stand up that Roadhog. He had some kind of critical knockdown with one of his guns that pushed the Roadhog back and knocked him down. And I think it's dawning on me just how unrealistic my idea of scenario was. Not because he jammed the scenario, but because that water is just really going to stop Midas from getting over there. Alright, well, let's just move stuff forward. I want to spray his light artillery if I can. Get those models out of here. And maybe I'll even hit Captain Jeremiah Kraye. It's always good to put a Warmachine Warcaster on fire. I had given him the +2 speed and Pathfinder, the full bore ability, and just walked up. Because if I had charged, I would have clipped that obstruction in the middle of the table and would have stopped my charge short. By moving up the way I did, though, I was just short of Jeremiah Kraye. So now I'm just gonna... The only guy I actually had in my spray was his light artillery, and I believe I missed. I don't know, I did hit, and then he just sacrificed the little guy behind it with that weird light artillery kind of take-up rule. Time for some sniper pew-pew. These guys are going to try and shoot. I wasn't sure, I didn't have the card with me, if these guys were range 10 or 12. Thankfully they were range 12, I found out from someone else, so. Enough range, Magic Building 9, we shoot, and we hit. However, with their defensive stance and arcane shield, I don't crack armor. I'm rolling POW 11 against armor, I want to say 19 or something. These guys are going to chip away at the little hunter. If I can knock out... Actually, not the hunter. He had one of those Stormcallers behind that can back there. I took him out, no problem. Alright, I know I'm definitely short of charging range, so my Slaughterhousers are going to go into jam mode and just run. I'm going to wave him out, tie him up with 3 guys so that I can charge with the other 3 the next turn. And a little Bone Grinders are going to mosey on up and take a pew-pew shot. Still no damage. Midas checking out his control range. Helps me better gauge whether or not this Razor Boar can charge, and looks like I needed more help because I failed that charge. That's alright. Razor Boar is in his face now. Deal with it. I'm running kind of hot on Fury, so Bone Swarm is... Actually, he's going to be a roadblock. He's going to walk up and just swarm. I'm hoping that they focus fire on him because of his stats are so good. 15, 18. Or 13, 18, plus 2 against shooting. I believe that other Roadhog just full board himself to give himself Pathfinder. He's going to charge Assault. Water does not matter when you are a Pathfinder. And let's see if we can get a spray in that nice little clump of dudes. Probably hit about 3 or 4 of them. Miss. Miss. And miss. Alright, good job. This turn is not turning out very well. Let's run these guys right into the Death Valley. They have to kind of stay there so they can actually get somewhere next turn, but they're so in the open that they are going to be shot off. That one's just moseying up. And last I have is Midas. Actually, no, I got that little black unit of bone grinders to the right of Midas. I think they'll activate first. Might be able to snipe out that artillery piece if I get lucky. Although I can only get to magic ability 8 because not all of them are going to be 1 inch from the unit leader. So he'll take a shot. And boom. Good job. So far the bone grinders are the MVPs of the army. Midas is doing a battle lust on that unit. And it seems like a silly thing to put battle lust on a unit that's already activated. I just want the fearless because they are not fearless. So I'm going to battle lust the other unit that I can see to my right. That way, if he kills 2 of those models, I don't have to make any command checks, and they'll be good to go next turn. Cygnar, turn 2. I should be making bets on how much he's going to kill my army. Over under 50%. I'm going to take the over. He's allocating a couple focus, and let's see what he does. Sword Knights. I'm going to do a run charge. Because of the way I clumped him, though, I think he's only going to get maybe 2 actual charges, and the rest are going to be short. You know, he'll get plenty of attacks, but not too many charge bonuses. He was probably better to just walk up and hit me, but I'm sure he shouldn't have any problem killing me with the number of attacks he gets. I'll have to get really lucky if any of these 3 survive. I didn't intend on them surviving, but it's always a benefit when your throwaway models live. Alright, he got 1. That one's tough. Oh, got 2. Come on, make it. You can do it. Boom. That's just gravy. All right, I got 4 slaughterhousers to play with next turn. Rangers activate, and I don't know what they're going to shoot. If I were him, I would shoot my units, but let's see what he does. Oh, he's going after those squishy bone grinders there. He hits, and that breaks armor with no problem. Gotta promote my leader now. Got another shot. And boom. Half the unit gone, and I'm very glad I did Battle Lust because now I don't have to make a command check on that unit. Rangers are going after my left unit of slaughterhousers now. Andrew was smart to target my units instead of my war beasts. I don't think he's actually played against Midas before, but he got the general gist of the idea. Because he's taken out those guys in the front, next turn I can't even charge him. Like, he's not advancing forward. He's just staying still and shooting me, so that's another turn where I'm not going to be able to charge him. The best thing I can do is run and hopefully engage, but I'm really wishing I would have positioned Midas closer to that flag now because of the way my opponent's not advancing. That flag, like if I was closer, even if I had to run next turn, I would gladly take a free point. Because then it changes what my opponent has to do. Then he actually has to advance his models and give them to me, essentially. Well, it looks like he's doing some lightning arcs, and we're checking out which is closest. Turns out it was my little bone grinders. Kills another one. Kills 2. And kills 3. Again, I'm very glad I battle lusted that unit. No command checks needed when they're fearless. Looks like Journeyman's just advancing. And he's going to take a shot at my knockdown model. Since he's on a hill, he can see him. And he hits, and nope. Do not make the tough. Looks like Kraye's activating. He's going base to base with his own flag. Very aggressive move. He's going to keep whittling down on those slaughterhousers. He hits. Does not break damage. Second shot hits. Does break damage, but slaughterhouser toughs. And I believe Jeremiah Kraye is going to feat this turn. Going to give his Warbeast a little bit more threat, or Warjack some more threat. But my opponent had a clear miscalculation because that plus 2 inches was not near enough to bring that Warjack to my Warbeast. I think his plan was to charge it and wipe it off the table, but he fell short. His other Jack is just moving on up and gonna take a shot. Not sure who he shot. Probably one of my Warbeasts. Looks like I'm marking some damage columns. And while my opponent's doing these shots, I'm kind of ignoring it and just doing a little victory dance in my head. Jeremiah Kraye is literally right in front of my Roadhog. Like, this is an awful situation that turned into, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to win. I can't believe this is happening. He's right in front of me. To my opponent's credit, he knows this too, but rather than go on tilt, he is keeping composure and planning ahead for his next turn by, doing as much damage as he can. It doesn't do him any good to throw a fit, so he's just going to keep shooting my stuff and keep out-attritioning me. There's nothing that he can do to run models above Jeremiah Kraye because he's already activated everything on his left side, so no reason to make a bad situation worse by leaving attacks on the table. Gunmage Pistoliers. Oh boy. These units, if their models were better looking, I would totally play Cygnar, but I just don't really care for the minuscule models, and I think some of the old models have like little baby nub pistols, like little pop guns. It bothers me. It also bothers me how good they are, because they kill everything. Oh. My left flank is about to get even smaller. Pharaoh Bone Grinder, you dead. Mr. Slaughterhouser, we're going to hit you. And we're going to damage you. You dead. It's funny, even next turn, I doubt I could run and engage all of them. Like, I can maybe engage one or two. But then he can just shoot his model in the back and then shoot my 2 engaging models off the table. Like, I actually... He's going to clear them all up on my left side before they even engage. I will get 0 work out of those models. That's how bad the attrition is going. If he had been shooting my Warbeast the whole time, I would have been super happy, because then my units would run and engage, and even if he kills my Warbeast, I'm just going to bring them all back. Alright, Reaving some Fury, and did I mention how happy I was that he moved Jeremiah Kraye over there? Like, this whole turn is going to be, I need to clear up a lane so that Roadhog can just charge Kraye. My thought is that Midas is going to walk on up. He's going to, actually, just for good measure, I'm putting Craft Talisman on Midas to make sure I'm not too short. But Midas is going to creep behind this obstruction. And I'm going to start putting some spells on Kraye. I think I'm going to Calamity him, and then I'll also Hex Blast him afterwards for some damage. Hex Blast does not remove my upkeeps, it only removes friendly upkeep, so you want a Calamity first, then Hex Blast, because you're going to get +2 to hit, and then +2 damage. I am too far to curse Jeremiah Kraye. Curse has a command range of 8, and he's about, probably about 10 or 11 away. Well, I boosted the Calamity and I hit. Now I'm turning 3 of my Corpse tokens into Fury, which takes me, looks like I'm at 5 now. I'm going to do a Hex Blast and I'll boost it. That'll hit. Or actually, no. I rolled 3 1s. That did not hit. 1, 1, 1 will miss. Alright, no matter. I got the Calamity on. That's the big deal. So we gotta remove that little Storm Knight that's blocking my Roadhog. I got a couple things I can do. This little Bone Grinder, he can take a shot at it. Before I activate the Bone Grinder, I'm going to see if I can curse the Storm Knights, but they are also too far. So these Bone Grinders are going to walk up. They've got the best shot because they can get to Magic Ability 9. Take a shot, we hit. Gotta break some armor, come on, show me potato salad. And that does not break. Alright, this little lone guy, he's going to walk up. He's going to take a shot. Part of me wanted to move closer. I didn't know if I could get a benefit by being close to another unit. I didn't have the card with me, so I didn't bother. It's just going to be Magic Ability 6. I roll, and it was Snake Eyes, so I missed. Alright, so it's up to the Slaughterhousers now. They have to clear the lane. I would have enjoyed having 1 or 2 of them charge Kraye. And maybe if I was smarter, I probably could have. But I put them both on that Storm Knight because I really needed that Storm Knight to die so that my Roadhog could get there. And one of them was knocked down, so he just had to move out of the way. So I'm getting maximum range with my Slaughterhousers. I'm using a small proxy base. This is a game of precision, so I gotta be as precise as possible. I don't bump into myself on the charge. Powerful charge. These guys go to mat 8. We hit. And that'll do. Booyah. Roadhog is free. That Roadhog has taken some damage, but nothing's taken out. He's doing a charge, which may or may not be correct. Doing a charge assault. And I'm boosting the fire because in my head, fire is good. I'm almost positive this is not correct. Like I should just try to boost my melee attacks and kill him, but we boost the fire and we get him on fire. I choose not to boost the damage on fire because it's probably like dice -7, and I'd rather just hit him with my fist and do damage there. I boost my actual charge melee attack, and charge attack does a fair amount of damage. Looks like he's about half, more than half damage dead. I got 1 fury left, and I decided it's better to hit him since I'm at PS16 with Calamity. So we roll and we do hit, roll some damage, and roll pretty mediocre damage. It leaves him on, I want to say, 3. He's got about 3 boxes left, and I've got literally, I don't think anything that can get over there. Maybe that other Roadhog, but I'm not sure. Actually, that other Roadhog definitely cannot get over there because that other Roadhog is outside of Midas's command range. So now I couldn't even force him to assault and try to get a spray because he's too far. So rather than go on tilt myself that I didn't kill his caster, I'm positioning myself for next turn by moving some models up. Bone Swarm took a charge at his defender. At PS15 we do a decent amount of damage, but I think he had to make a threshold check, so he already had some fury on him, so he doesn't have any more attacks. This guy can't be forced, my Roadhog, so I try to, but then I realize I can't, so he's just going to walk 2.5 inches, take a spray. His mind is out, and I realize I don't even need to roll because I can't hit. I'm only rolling 1d6 to hit, and I'm not going to hit a defense 15 with a rat 5. Little bone grinders are going to shoot, going after his unit attachment, or unit leader. Took him down. Good job, guys. And these boys are going to run to engage. Slaughterhousers will do their best to tie them up. Got 1 more Bone Swarm left, and he's just going to walk up. Alright, Andrew rolls fire, and fire goes out. Son of a bitch. That was my game plan. Kill him on fire. With the fire gone, I have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, Midas is pretty exposed, and right now he only has 1 fury on. No, he either has 1 or 2 fury. It looks like he has 1 fury and a bone token, so I don't know. My opponent also doesn't know what to do. And I'll give you a little bit of spoiler. My opponent forgets that Captain Jeremiah Kraye has parry, so he makes it much more difficult than it should be. Alright, because my Bone Swarms have terror, he's positioning, bobbing and weaving his little rangers through that Bone Swarms like they're landmines to stay away from their 2-inch terror threshold. He's trying to get a good mark for target on something. So he's just moving them up, being careful. That one's engaged, so it can't actually shoot. This one's going to take out a little bone grinder. Definitely hits. And that's the last of that little unit. Shooting at my Roadhog, or he's shooting another Slaughterhouser and kills it. Right now, both of us have 0 control points. Just kind of funny because neither of us are thinking about scenario at this point. We're both just... He's still on the attrition game plan, and I am all in on the assassin game plan. Whatever he does, I'm just hoping that he leaves me with enough to kill his caster. Like, if he removes my Roadhog and kills those Slaughterhousers, I just need Midas to be close enough to Hex Blast. And I will put everything into some Hex Blast next turn if I can. Or I'll move Midas close enough to that other Roadhog so that the Roadhog can try and spray his caster with an Assault. So I'm not too worried. Well, I'm worried, but my game plan, I don't have to think too hard about it. It's kill his caster or lose. So I'm just waiting and seeing how much he kills. The Roadhog that's tied up right in front of Kraye is fairly healthy. It doesn't have much damage on him at all. And my opponent and I, we actually kind of talk about what to do. I tell him he should walk away, take the free strike, and just shoot my caster. I didn't know it had parry as well. He didn't want to do that. Oh, looks like he's activating his Jack right now. His Jack, the Stormclad, is going to charge Midas. And we get some precision measuring to see if I get a free strike or not. Got two potential models that could free strike the Slaughterhouser or my Roadhog, but it looks clean. His Stormclad's going to get there without any free strikes. Alright, so he spent one for the charge. He hits me with the sword. Yeah. Alright, so he's rolling for damage. And does a fair amount of damage, and I just transfer that over to that Bone Swarm that's in the back. I'm too far away for him to hit me with the shield, so he's got to buy another attack with his sword, which he does. And looks like that hits. And he leaves Midas at 1. It's kind of awkward, because he's activated enough of his models at this turn that he doesn't have too much left. Now he tries to shoot my caster, which my caster has a lot of defense now. I don't know all of the Cygnar models, but if there was a way he could have just shot his Jack in the back and then lightning leaped something on my caster, I think that would have been better. But I'm not sure if that's even possible. I believe he's already activated that artillery on the hill. Yeah, that artillery shot me early on, so he can't. He doesn't have too many ranged options besides his caster at this point. And his caster's tied up on my Roadhog. Yeah, here's where we're talking about. I think he should just walk and shoot my caster and boost and pray. He's going to need 12s to hit, but I mean, that's better than leaving him there and dying. He doesn't like that odds though, so he's going to decide to try to just take out my Roadhog and melee. He misses. He misses. This one hits. And he boosts damage. Oh no, he does not boost damage. He does a little bit of damage. He hits me. This time he does boost damage. Does a little bit more. And now he's thinking, wow, this is a bad plan. That Roadhog is still well alive. He's going to take a free strike with that Jack. Hit. Do probably like 9 points of damage to one of his columns. And that Jack is going to take a shot of that Roadhog. Try to finish what Jeremiah Kraye could not. He misses, and then he rolls on Kraye since we're engaged, and that also misses. He is not looking too good. These Storm Knights do another charge order, which they don't have too many targets if they're going linear charges. I think a simple move would have been fine. I'm going to clear out my Slaughterhousers with these Storm Knights, though. Storm Blades, whatever they're called. I think they're Storm Knights. And I don't know what he has left. Maybe a Hunter? Either way, my next turn's looking really easy. Heal up the Roadhog and hit Jeremiah Kraye. Boost to hit. And boost damage if I need to. I'll definitely upkeep Calamity on Jeremiah Kraye. He's just cleaning house more with the pigs. Oh, push that. Had a critical pushback with that one. But fails to break armor. Or, never mind, he did break armor, and I died. Alright, my turn. We're gonna upkeep Calamity, do a frenzy check on some irrelevant beasts over there, and I think I don't even have to heal my Roadhog. I think my Warthog might. No, I do have to heal him. Yeah, let's heal. Or I take that back. That was a Hex Blast. I tried to do a boosted Hex Blast. That missed. And I think I forgot to deviate it. I should have deviated somewhere. Oh well. Roadhog's going to boost a hit, boost damage. Game over.